So, I saw TikTok today, and it was about like this dude, absolutely fucking shredded, and he was saying like, alcohol, like your body, like ingesting it and stuff, isn't actually like the main reason that like lifters don't drink. Is that true? Like it's mainly like fucks up your sleep and stuff.
I mean, not from my personal experience.
No.
I would just do it for health reasons only.
Oh, okay.
Like just solely for the liver function.
That makes sense. So why are you so? Can I ask you why you're so concerned about your liver?
Well, all right, we just get right to it. I mean, like everything you take has an impact on your liver.
Okay, because it's your filter, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like mine specifically, my liver enzymes were high when I got blood work done.
Okay.
So.
Do you do blood work a lot?
Just this last time.
Okay.
I mean, I just got a new coach, so.
I know the strongmen do blood work a lot.
Yeah.
Because like if they don't, they're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Because their blood pressure is like triple what it's supposed to be when you eat 35,000, right? 35,000-ish calories a day. They're like 400 pounds.
35,000?
Isn't it?
No,
3,500 you mean?
No, it's more than that.
It's probably like
Watch.
8 or something.
Now watch. I'm gonna look up what Brian Shaw eats in a day.
It can't be more than like
How
12,000.
much? How many?
Unless he's just like.
It might be
fucking
15 actually.
Pounded Big
How
Macs
many
or something.
calories do strong men?
I feel like the average obese person is in like 8 to 10,000 calories they consume today.
Oh man, 12,000.
Dude, that's the exact number I said.
Where did I get 35,000? Because that's like.
That's a lot. That's enough to kill an elephant.
Oh shit.
Did you not press record?
No, Dylan, you're not on camera. You can't swivel.
Fuck, where do I need to be then?
Just scooch closer. Because I don't want to get up and adjust it.
Brandon? Go with this.
Hey, you look like you're doing something else there,
This
buddy.
thing is fucking...
Just don't swivel.
Oh, there it goes.
We're getting cozy in the cone. So, like in summary, what do you do to get ready for like a show?
Well, I guess like you'll start at a certain point, like either 20 weeks or 16 weeks, depending on how fat you are. But like obviously less time if you're in better shape.
Right.
But you'll just start either. The first thing that goes up is your cardio. You do more cardio, and then depending on how that looks, you add more or you start cutting more food.
Okay.
It's always best to have more food and do more cardio than cut all your food out and do less cardio, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds rough. So, what is your, like, is there different classes for, like, different, like, body fat percentage or height or, like, anything like that?
So there's different classes. In just open bodybuilding, it's by weight.
Oh, okay.
So no, they don't care how fat you are. It's just, like, how much you weigh.
Oh, I've seen, it's supposed to be funny, like, this, like, dude with, like, 20% body fat, just, like,
Standing next to
waiting God in a show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Just all hairy.
You could. There's no rules.
On average, what's the body fat percentage you guys get down to?
Like you personally.
I wouldn't say lower than, like, people like to say they get down to, like, 3%, but they're not actually. It's probably closer to, like, 5 or 7.
Because there's a lot of fat, like, in your muscles, too, right?
Well,
Well,
like
yeah.
5 to 12, you'd say?
To be
Probably
successful.
5. Well, like, the pros, they're probably close to, like, 3, 4, 5.
That makes more sense.
Right in there, but they're fucking peeled. Like,
What do you, like, so how tall are you?
5, 6 3/4.
Does that hinder you a little bit? Or
No, so it's not really like, because there's different.
what do they judge on? Is the question I should ask?
Muscularity, symmetry, condition, which is how much like fat you have.
Right.
Pretty much that's it. But I mean, there's a lot of other factors, but that's the main thing.
I didn't think about symmetry.
Yeah,
That's pretty big.
because it's like supposed to be an art, you know.
So do you switch? No, I'll probably edit that part out.
I just got what you said, wasn't it? Can we talk about your last show? Because I felt like you looked good, man. Like, so
I saw a
what?
fucking Instagram post today. I was like, Jesus Christ.
What? Because you got what place? If you don't mind me asking, like, what did you place? That was
Second.
Second?
Yeah.
Why? Because I thought you fucking had it, dude.
Yeah, it was close. I mean, that guy, the only thing I can see is he was a little bit bigger.
Muscle-wise?
Yeah. But that's...
Dumb muscle-wise.
Do they care about tattoos? Like, does it
If
hinder
it-
your symmetry and stuff? Like when they're trying to
If
look
it
at
takes
definition?
away from, like, your definition, like, and right there on my leg, I think it does, but
Is that right? Where like that?
Well,
where your muscles all separate, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's probably.
Yeah.
Just put makeup over it or something.
They do make, like, it's like a tan cover-up type thing where it makes it look smooth, but I just figured out about that, like, a month ago, so...
And they don't count that against you.
The tattoo, or...
If you
It's
put
supposed,
makeup.
it was supposed to make it just look like the tan that you wear.
Oh, okay.
So
I was gonna
it's
say
just-
because they probably get mad at you if you try to like contour it or at all.
Yeah.
You know? So that'd be something, but. So, if you had to tell, like, you can come up with as many points as you want, but if you had to tell someone who wanted to get into it, what are some like do's and don'ts? Like in just lifting and like physique in general, not even like shows if you don't want to get that into it, but.
Well, the number one thing I would, like, if I tell my younger self is just be consistent with it. Because, like, and that's a lot of people's problem. They don't see instant results. They're just like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I would say be consistent. Have a plan. Like, actually just follow.
Like write it out? Or do you think
I mean, yeah, I mean, that obviously helps, I guess.
Because I've always kind of thought against those guys that have like notebooks in the gym. Like, I
Yeah.
just thought that was a little excessive.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
at that point, it's like a chore. If I'm like going into the gym with like, okay, I'm gonna do this many sets of this many sets of this. Like, I just go into the gym and like Dylan's like, what are we hitting? And I'm like, or he asked me like we were gonna work out together, but then he bailed on me. He's like, what are we hitting? I was like, I figure that shit out when I walk in the door. Because like,
Yeah.
to me, it's like it's a hobby. It's not like I'm not gonna get on
I
stage
feel like you keep track of all your workouts though.
I just started, actually, yeah.
with
Oh,
the new
really?
coach.
Oh, I thought you.
Well, that's kind of my own decision, but it's like
Why?
the specific, like, progressive overload. You know, you're forcing your body to adapt. So, say you go in one day, you use a certain amount of weight. The next time you go in to train that body part, if you're doing more weight, you're progressing, you know?
Okay.
So, as if you looked at your logbook and you didn't go up in weight, you're obviously not doing something right, you know?
Oh, okay. So you just want to have a baseline,
Yeah,
like
well,
a
and,
really
like,
specific baseline.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I guess that would be a good way to track without maxing out,
Yeah,
because you don't want to like. I've recently, like, I knew it the whole time, but I've recently talked myself into like not maxing all the time. Like PRs aren't where it's at.
yeah.
So I was like, so I guess if you wanted to actually know, because like they say the 2.5 plates are like huge. Like that's what I've been told. Like just throw 2.5 plates on there randomly,
Oh.
and then you just because you don't like actually think it's there, but you're
Yeah.
like it's your progressive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
See, I've always gone off of Matt Ogos's theory. After he said it, I kind of just like stuck with it. Like you shouldn't be maxing like once a month or even like every other month, every 3 months. He said, if I remember correctly, maybe once a year
Yeah.
during certain lifts. I mean, and you definitely got to keep track of it too. That's what I realized. I kind of screwed myself over because I wasn't paying attention. I don't know what my maxes are, so I can't like yesterday I had to do 75% and 80% on the front squats and back squats, and I didn't even know what my 100% was. So,
Yeah.
so you can't screw yourself over. You're not keeping track of.
I will say I almost shit out my spleen doing front squats one time. I felt like it anyway.
Front squats.
It was I put it on my Instagram, I think. It was like 245 too. It didn't even feel like that big, but front squats are killer. I just learned about them too, and it's like I didn't realize how important core was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I just
for
learned that a couple
everything.
months. I learned that a couple months ago.
I was like, man, my squat is like super shitty, and I told one of my buddies on the football team at NMSU. I was like, my squat is horrible. I think it's my long legs, and he's like, nah, I guarantee you, it's your core. And I was like, what do you mean? He's all, walk me through like your procedure. And I was like, okay. Like I get up there, put it on my back. I learned to like do lower back squats, so you can like it's not on like where all your fucking nerves are.
Yeah.
And I put lower back, And I was like, then I get up, and then I like just squat. And he's all, what do you do with your breath? And I was like, I get a breath. And he's all, nah, that's not how you do that shit at all. I was like, well, you bring it in, lock it in, and then you like go down. It's like, that's why people wear belts. So you can like lock in your core. And I was like, no shit. I did that like 100 pounds more than my squat. I was like, what the hell?
Having that wall to push against.
Technique? What?
Yeah, because I finally got to a point where I was like, I'm not going to worry about abs. Fuck abs. They're just for tools, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but my biggest thing was I wanted to get good at like calisthenics, like pull-ups, push-ups, and that sort of thing. And I was trying to get ready for this challenge that I found that this ex-special forces Green Beret made, and it's called Be the Bison Challenge, and it's 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups in 10 minutes. And it's strict pull-ups, strict military-style push-ups, and strict military-style sit-ups. And I kept trying to do it and do it, but I wasn't doing a lot of core. Once I started working out my core more, I saw my numbers go up.
And I had like a lot of back pain and shit too, because I was deadlifting.
Yeah, that's
and I was like, why does my shit hurt so bad? And I was like, I did like sit-ups and like Russian twists and shit all the time. Dude, I realized I slept better. I added like 50 yards on my golf drive.
Yeah.
and like, and there's no pain. There was less pain. I was like, damn, core is like important as hell. So, psychologically, what do you do to like, I guess there's a lot of ways to look at this, but like psychologically, what do you do to like just keep going like every day? Does it help that you like work there, I guess, or
No,
you just submerge yourself in the environment, or?
Like, honestly, I would say I was more motivated to work out when I didn't own a gym.
Oh shit, yeah, that's
Because
good.
I'm there all the time. I'm like, whereas like when I was working construction or whatever, I was like, oh fuck yeah, I get to go work out. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah,
That's your outlet, your happy place.
Yeah. But now, I mean, I do it anyways because it's what I want to do, but it makes me happy still. But
Yeah.
you know.
I was wondering about that. I was thinking about that, if it changed whenever you were became owner of the gym, and then like if it shifted at all or affected the way you trained and everything.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like, just because I'm there all the time, like.
But I also feel like you're one of those people that have zero option mentality about it. Like that's your thing. Like
Yeah.
you have to work out because I feel like that's in a good way. Like that's what your life is.
Yeah.
Is competing.
Well, it's what I want to do. I want to
Exactly.
bodybuild. I want to be a professional. And it's like, people always say, like, you need to have discipline rather than motivation. Because, like,
Yeah,
your
it's really
motivation isn't always
consistency,
around,
yeah.
but if you're disciplined, you'll get it done anyways, you know?
Yeah.
And then you also, a big thing that I learned is purpose training. Like you have a purpose to train.
Yeah.
Like for me right now, like I don't have a competition, I don't have anything. So like I would say in a sense it's a little harder for me sometimes to want to go to the gym. Not nearly as much anymore because I've trained it that I need to go to the gym because it really helps me like mentally
Yeah.
in my head. So it's not as bad, but they're like I want to do 2-a-days and be there in the morning, but like when I wake up, I'm like, I don't have to be there. Like, as long as I go in today, I don't really care.
Yeah.
With you can't, like, in a good way, you can't do that. Yours is like, no, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, and like, you say it and you do it. That's how it is for you.
Well, you got shit to lose now.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like you mess around and you don't do everything you can, and then you step on stage and you look like shit. So it's like,
Yeah.
you either put in the work or it'll show up, like, when you step on stage. Or
So, this is kind of a double-edged question, but like, do you have like a contingency plan for like diet and like just lifestyle if you get hurt or something? Because if you stop lifting right now, you get really fat, right? Is that how that works?
Not unless I eat like an asshole, no.
Okay, so it's mainly diet.
Yeah, so like
Okay.
if I stopped lifting, I wouldn't like just immediately get fat. If I stopped
Right.
lifting and just started eating like 8,000 calories a day.
Oh, okay. So my other question to that was like, I was kind of hoping that you said like, nah, but but do you think having a contingency plan would like kind of hurt your motivation or dedication? Like, because then you'd be like, oh, like if this happens, then I'll be fine.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's like, you know, anything where people say don't have a plan B because then you're committed to plan A.
You're taking like percentage of like a focus away from
Yeah.
plan A.
You're giving yourself a way out of.
Yeah, I had to start doing that with dating.
not to jump back to what I said, but like I said, like he has a zero option mentality. Like
Right.
that is his only thing. Like he doesn't have any other.
Sorry,
And I realized that's where I screwed up too. I was like, nah, well if it doesn't work, then I can just do this, and like I'm trying to like get myself to get to that kind.
I
of
did like
mentality.
that's what you said though. I think I'm gonna try to figure out something to train for
Yeah.
because that helps. I get mad at myself though when I do that because I'm like, why couldn't I just like tell myself, get up, work out, get up, work out? Like, why do I need to like brainwash myself into being like, I'm like getting ready for a competition? Like, why can't I just get up and do it? But that's just the human brain, I suppose.
But my other mentality is not just like for my mental health that it helps me. I also like I don't know anybody else that really does this. The reason that I like to go to the gym and take advantage of it is because it is a privilege to be able to go to the gym.
It's a good point.
And I forget that sometimes, but one of the biggest motivators is like I think about like all our servicemen and women that like have sacrificed for us to like live a good life. So whenever I feel like I have a tiny voice saying like I don't want to go to the gym or do a certain workout, I just think of them like, what would they like? This is for them. Like, what would they be doing? Like, if they were still alive, like, that's what goes through my
Yeah.
head.
It's definitely something that's like taken for granted, you know.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. I've been thinking of. My brain's been going crazy the last couple of days. So like, I honestly think that like, so you can do a 2-year contract in the military, and like in the reserves or active. But the reason everybody does the 4 years because if you do 4-year contract, you get school paid for.
Oh yeah.
But there is 2-year contracts, and I honest to God think that like, unless you have a legitimate excuse, I think you should. I think everyone should at least do a 2-year contract, or like there should be a government program where you can like go to boot camp, and like
should
not through
definitely-
ROTC, just like join up and then do it. It would help your like your aptitude for physical fitness because you realize like, hey, because I bet you there's a lot of people out there that are like 30-40% body fat that like can't run a mile, and they're like, oh yeah, if we get into a war, I'm gonna kick some ass. I'm like, bro, you can't walk up the stairs.
There's so much shit I have to say about this because I want to say what you're saying is true, but also like the standards for the military right now are fucking a joke.
But that's fine.
So you can't really if you're trying to say that if going in the military is going to help you get in shape, it's really not.
No, I just want people to know where they're at. And there's going to be people who are like, they'll get through it and they'll be at like 20-30% body fat and they'll be like, yeah, I did that shit so easy, but really they're the one puking and like absolutely dead at the finish line if they make it.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just saying it shows you where you're at and shows us where we're at as a nation. So like you get the stats and then the government, because like, what was it when like, I think it might have been JFK or somebody, they like pushed physical fitness and like for the nation, and like there was like every dude out of high school had like abs, and it was just like,
well, unfortunately, we live in a time now, which is it's a perfect time to bring it
food
up.
is more readily accessible.
Not even that, like everybody's pushing the narrative of, oh, as long as you're happy in your body, like the Cosmopolitan that came out, like these women that are like totally overweight, and I don't care who sees this and fucking thinks I'm body shaming, but like there's a difference between like being healthy mentally and like happy where you're at, but that doesn't mean you're like healthy physically.
Don't stop being hungry, like for like to better yourself. Like you've probably heard it, like the analogy with like the alligator. When alligators eat to be full, they go into a state of paralysis, and that's like the best time to like fucking attack an alligator because they're just like chilling. So it's like, so the motivational speaker that was saying this was like, stay hungry. And so I think people are just like, they just want to sit and be satisfied, and then they get fat, and then they're like, well, why don't you love me for me? It's like, I love you, and that's why I want you to be better.
Yeah.
And then we lost that attitude a while ago.
What's your opinion on that whole thing?
Mine?
Yeah, the whole body positivity and
I mean, you can't be healthy. Like, okay, if you feel good, cool. But there's like, at some point your health comes into play, you know?
it's gonna affect you at
It's like-
some point.
Yeah.
That irritates me too because that's kind of pulling into this whole Rona thing. Like, people are super unhealthy and then they're dying from Rona. And they're like, everyone else's lack of concern for the Rona is what's got them.
Exactly.
And I was like, no, you were 300 pounds and
It's like you don't care about your body. Why am I going to care if I'm not getting you sick? Or if
It's
I'm
like
getting
there's a
sick?
reason that you're in the percentile that's gonna get got.
Well, to also point out, like, when have we ever in America, like, when has your health become my responsibility?
Exactly.
Didn't care during the flu, influenza, all this other shit. Like, why is it? It doesn't matter now. And then,
Don't even get me started on the whole can't go to the gym, but you can fucking go to Walmart and all this
yeah,
bullshit.
it's just help corporations.
But it should be the same as like religion. Like
was-
you should be if you can go to church, you should be able to go to the gym. It's like what are you to say that like if you had to go with like your muscles compared to like someone's religion, I'd say you're pretty damn religious. like it shows, and it's like it's irritating that people don't see it that way, and that it's like everything's off of definition.
Two things. Are those numbers correct? Because I see a lot of people saying like, oh, like if you look at the numbers, everyone who's like died, most of the people that died from coronavirus, or like it's affected heavily, is mainly obese people. Is that actually true?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's statistically that obese people have underlying conditions
Well, yeah.
because their body just doesn't work correctly.
Yeah.
And that's where the
It's
whole
not
body
optimal.
positivity thing needs to be checked. It's like, okay, you're at like way over your BMI where it should be. And that's why you're having heart problems, and that's why you're having kidney failure. And it's like, it's statistically the other things are underlying. It's not just.
And I wanted to know, because I wanted, if you knew, since you're a business owner and own the gym in town, Riverside closed down now.
Oh, really?
And I think Magali's and Pablo's
Right
and
now?
Horseshoe, are they closed down?
There shouldn't be. I can see Riverside because they don't serve food.
But I'm assuming since if Riverside's going to close down, then everything else is going to start.
No,
they're
Riverside's
going to try to.
Riverside's a bar though.
Well, I know, but usually it's usually the bars, restaurants, and gyms and churches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything.
Oh,
To be honest, I don't. I just wait till someone tells me.
Well, the gym's not going to close this time around either.
Yeah.
So
you're following the whole Ian Smith, yeah.
yeah, I'll be the next Ian.
Dude, I'll watch your fucking gym if you need me to. Fuck that. And I hope Magali's and Pablo's don't close. I hope they're smarter than to.
But it's like I think we're in a small enough town that it's not really.
Dude, I watched a cop walk into Walmart without a mask. And they're like, oh, the cops are going to get you. I'm like, no, they're not.
Well, that's what, like, literally 90% of the cops come to my gym and work out still.
Yeah. Dude, I remember I was walking by and you were talking to Douglas about it. And I was wondering, what did he say? It was a while ago.
Was Douglas
Yeah.
back?
Gary?
Oh, Gary Doug. I thought you meant your brother. I was like, he's
Oh.
here.
No, he was. I mean, it's obviously they're just being told what to do.
Yeah.
Because we shut down that first time, and then we opened back up, and we were supposed to shut down again, and we never did.
Yeah.
Well, someone complained, so the cops had to come down and tell us that we're breaking the local
Yeah.
mandate or whatever. It was just a warning, and then they're like, "Oh, well, you get 3 of these, and then even then, it's not a guaranteed fine, so I don't worry about it."
That's the stupid thing, though. It was like, everybody's freaking out. They're like, oh, like, you're going to get put right in jail. I'm like, no, it's like a complaint service thing. Like, someone has to complain for you to be, like, the cops aren't.
Yeah, someone
Like, in
someone
their
called and
binoculars,
said,
yeah.
"This place is open when they're not supposed to be. This gym that is helping people out and getting healthier and more."
Yeah.
It's like the one thing that's going to keep the Rona from getting everybody is the gym. If you want to break it down, being healthier is going to stop the Rona from getting people, and that's what they want to shut down.
Well, and then I think it was Ian put that they found out that gyms had like a 0.2% of the cases found. Like it's like the lowest thing that
Yeah.
has
And then he even kept track, and they had no numbers the whole time they were open, and they'd even mandate masks. It was like up to you to wear a mask, and they had 0 positives, whoever got tested. So
Before COVID, you still wiped shit down.
Yeah.
You didn't really get close to people. Like, that's probably one of the best places to be, because, like, I'm not going to breathe on you even without a mask, like, before Corona.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm, like you're not just going to, like, wait by a machine, like, looking at someone's face, like, breathing in their fucking air. Like, it's they were doing Rona procedures before Rona.
yeah.
My biggest argument was like my gym's not big enough to have like people all crowded in anyways.
Exactly, because you're open all the time.
Yeah,
so you can literally
24/7.
never.
Well, somebody could look at it and say, "Oh, it's small enough that it's small,
It's
so
everywhere,
they're
yeah.
closer together."
Yeah. But
it's really not, especially since you have that outdoor now too.
Like now that it's New Year's, there's more people and it's getting a little more crowded, but still it's not like...
Did you get a lot of people come in or no?
Not really more signing up, it's just everyone's starting to come now.
That's honestly, like, I'd like to say that's the reason that I haven't been in there. But, you know, I've been road tripping and shit too, but I'm not, that's why I asked you too. I was like, when do people don't show up? Because...
What are your busiest times?
Like...
Or time?
9 to 9:10ish is pretty busy in the morning, and then 5 to like 7.
Is that when the cops are in there?
In the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, they normally come like 11ish.
I remember that was whenever they were there is when it was usually busy. It's like in the morning.
Yeah. No, the evenings are definitely like yesterday. Were you there yesterday?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely gonna start doing that 10-minute thing. Just try to work on it because pull-ups are for the Marine Corps wants pull-ups too, so and crunches.
Oh, they still want pull-ups?
Oh yeah.
Even while you're. Oh,
You-
I thought that was just
so-
boot camp.
No, you can do. It's a 21 pull-ups is 100 points. 115 crunches is 100 points, or I think it's either 3.5 or 4 minutes of planks, and then a 3-mile run in 18 minutes is 100 points, and every 10 seconds is a point off.
Yeah.
So I can do 17 pull-ups, which is weird. I train pull-ups like the week before, just to like remind my muscles that they have shit to do, and then I can consistently do 17, which like no matter what weight I'm at. It kind of pisses me off because then I'm like, I don't need to train pull-ups.
Yeah.
But crunches, with the old gut, crunches get hard. So because it's a lot of resistance. So I asked my staff sergeant, I was like, what's the time frame for planks? And he told me like 4.5 minutes. So
Damn.
I did 4.5 minutes planks, and the whole time he's all, you're so close. He's like, keep going. He's all, if you get this, he's all, you're gonna impress the shit out of me. He's like, I couldn't even do a minute of these. I did 4.5 minutes, and I get up and I was shaking the whole time, and I get up and he's all, oh shit. I was like, what? He's like, you only had to do 3.5 minutes. I was like, son of a bitch. But then I did my 3-mile run in like 24 minutes or 25 minutes, and then he's all, Choate's motto is look like a buffalo, run like a gazelle. I was all, hell yeah, it is. But yeah, we have. That's why I love the Marine Corps. It's like the Army was like, oh, we can change our standards for everything, and like the Marine Corps kind of did. They changed it a little bit, but they mostly went off age and then sex. It's like they went like 1 or 2 lower on their shit, but the Army like has big different standards.
Yeah.
And then what I really appreciated was the infantry was like, okay, we're gonna change our shit for if you want to be like admin or if you want to be like fucking supply. Like you can do that shit. But if you want to get into infantry, we don't care if you're a fucking chimpanzee. If you can do this shit and shoot guns, you can get in. And they're like, but what about women? It's like, there's a lot of men that can't do this shit and we kick them out.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, that's the mentality right there.
Yeah. Yeah, the Army, it was like a year or 2 ago, I think they, if I read it correctly, if it went through, I think you could walk a 2 or 1 miler on the track, or a fast-paced walk.
Well, their standards are just low enough to where that like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I could walk a 12-minute mile, like, not trying. So it's like, because I remember in school we had those like presidential. Remember what they're called?
Oh yeah.
Like the things you had to try to get. Yeah, and there's always kids that like, fucking like moped along. We like pushed them and they like got across the line at 11:59. I was like, it's like, bro, we were walking next to you, and then. So I don't think they're that low, and I hope to God they're not. But what I have learned is a lot of people make fun of the Army for their standards being so low, but it's very specific to your job.
Yeah.
Because there are jobs in the Army that are non-combative 100%. Like you'll just work in the mailroom or some shit.
Yeah.
Like there is no way in hell that you're gonna get deployed. And those jobs are like okay, if you can just fucking walk, you'll be fine. But then if you want to be like an MP or like an infantryman or an artilleryman, then you have those elevated standards.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But that's what I enjoy about the Marine Corps. They're like, your ass getting deployed one way or another, so you're gonna be ready. Because there's only like 300,000 of us, if that. I don't even know what the number is. But what do you weigh these days?
Right now, I'm just back up to 230.
What'd you get?
Not to flex, but I'm at 235.
How'd your weight fluctuate those? How long did you have to take off? Or
What do you mean? Like this last week or so?
no, wasn't it like 2 months or 8 weeks? That 8 weeks.
This last 8 weeks where I wasn't. Yeah. I got up to like I think 234 was my heaviest,
Mm-hmm.
and then last week before I started doing everything hard again, it was like 223.
Damn.
So almost 11 pounds.
What's
like
the
8 weeks?
in the last 5 years? What's the lightest you've been?
My show that I just did 192.
That's weird. That was my weight at boot camp.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I hated it.
Yeah.
I did not like being that light. Do you like having like more weight on you?
No, it's
No?
definitely better to be like feel
Lighter.
better lean. You know.
Yeah.
Like right now, I walk up a flight of stairs, I'm like huffing and stuff.
Did you bump up? Like, what's the? I'm trying not to use the like engineering term for it, but like, what's the tolerance, or like what's the interval? There you go for the weight classes in your shows.
Like between the different
Yeah,
ones.
what changes? Like, at what weight do you change classes?
So it's like I don't even know the super light one. It's like 150 and below. That's like bantamweight. And there's middleweight, which is like up to like 170 maybe. And then light heavyweight is 170 something to 198. So I was in that class,
Okay.
the higher end of that class.
So it's 20 to 30 pounds.
yeah, right about.
Okay.
And it's 198 to 225, I think. So right in there somewhere.
And that's where you're working on being.
Yeah,
Like the top, so do you want to be
you
like
want to be
maxed
top,
out?
yeah,
Okay.
because you'll look the biggest, you know,
Right.
standing against guys that aren't as big as you.
Right. I always that's pretty much the same for wrestling. I would be 195, 190 in high school wrestling kids that were 220.
Yeah,
And when you think about it, you're like, it's only 30 pounds. And then that guy gets on top of you and you're like, holy shit.
I don't think any sane person will say that's only 30 pounds. Fucking 20,
But
30
like when
pounds
you're
is a lot.
when you're just thinking about it. But
yeah, and if you're looking at 30 pounds of muscle,
Yeah.
it's like
even 30 pounds of fat.
Yeah,
That looks even bigger though.
Do you think that being off and everything, or like you're like not working out or like going as hard that
you can say no drugs.
Okay. Do you think it's gonna affect you in your show or no? Or it's
No,
affected
no.
you? It's not gonna put you back at all.
No, because it's something everyone in bodybuilding does. They have to take like an off period
Oh, okay.
where you just let your body reset.
Oh, it was so it was standard then.
Yeah, usually,
Oh, okay.
usually that's what you do. And it just happened to work out with my liver enzymes being high that I backed off and,
Okay.
you know.
So I did steroids once. I'm gonna edit this out and I'll edit out all your little.
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay, cool. So I did steroids once, and I got strong as fuck, but I looked the fucking same.
Yeah.
And
Tell
it
'em
pissed
why.
me.
Tell
I
me.
eat like shit.
That's the thing, dude. Everyone's like, "Oh, you take them and you'll be so strong and you look great," and it's like, really isn't gonna do anything for you unless you change your eating and your drink.
My weight stayed the same, but I felt strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Like my work, oh dude, like pumps. I felt like a manimal, bro. Just coming out of the gym, I was like looking big as fuck. I look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, we're not gonna look in the mirror. But it definitely, I did a half cycle of like the fucking pills. What is it, anabolics?
Yeah, there's different stuff. Anabar and
I actually heard that that's like way riskier.
Yep.
Because
That's why my liver enzymes are high.
yeah. Like the shots are literally the best way to go because it's like bam, you got it.
They don't
Good.
get
fucking
they don't
use
go
it.
through your liver. Or anything.
Right.
I didn't
Got to
know
get your
that.
milk thistle in.
Yeah, that's why it's like all the people that begin on it are like, "Oh, I want to just take some pills," and I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna fuck your liver up."
Yeah. I did probably 3 years of research and no, let me rephrase that. I probably did 6 months of research and 2.5 years of talking myself into it before I
Yeah.
did it, and I should not have fucking done it. But I learned that the military doesn't test for that shit.
Yeah, that's
But I definitely don't intend on ever doing it again because it fucked up. Like, I didn't drink for the whole time.
Yeah.
That was pretty hard.
No, yeah.
That comes back to
That's
that.
my passion.
Like if anyone asks me, I'm like, no, don't do it. Like you have to have a reason if you want to do that shit. Like if you're just doing it for fun. No. If you're doing it to like do a show or like powerlifting or something like that, okay.
I thought I was a powerlifter for a quick.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, wait, I can eat like shit and I just gotta lift big. Pfft, power lifter, baby. I've been on a 4-year bulk. One of my buddies, he's like, so when do you cut? And I was all, But it always amazes me. So when quarantine hit, I didn't really work out, and I worked out like maybe once or twice, and then I just started lifting again, and like it's crazy how like the first like 3 or 4 days your body is like whoa, like what are we doing, and then like after that like first week your body's like, oh yeah, I remember this shit, and then like you get comfortable because like I'd be like doing 20s and I'm like, man, this shit is fucking heavy. I was pressing hundreds on each fucking side before I like quarantine, and then I was like, I do 20s, I was like, whew, might need to go down.
It was a fucking weird change going from, because I just made my own little home gym. I don't understand why it's such a difference, but like I was still working out, but then when I went back into the gym finally after quarantine, like I was still weaker. I don't get it.
I can't work out at home.
No.
I don't
It's
know.
not the same.
I think it's honestly because, have you ever heard of the saying that men are waffles and women are spaghetti?
What?
So it's like, it's the way your brain works. So if you ever ask a woman a question, or if she, women remember shit in the weirdest way. They'll be like, you'll say something, she's like, oh, because that's how you felt about this, and this is what you said to my sister on Christmas in 2015, and that's why you wore pink shoes. And you're like, what in the hell are you talking about, woman? And then men, we're waffles, because we got boxes. You pull the box out, you get in the box.
Oh, that fucking comedian.
You get out of the box, yeah, and then you put the box back.
Yeah.
And like, so you have your work on the car box, you have your fucking work on the house box, and
It's not all in-
you can't fucking pull out many boxes. You got to just pull out one box, get in it, get out of the box, put the box back. And our favorite box is the nothing box, and women do not understand the nothing box. They're like, what do you think about? Nothing? Well, what do you mean nothing? You got to be thinking about something. And you're like, no, I'm literally thinking about fucking nothing. But so it's like, for men, like you pull out the gym box, but for some reason, like when you're at your house, you just like peek in the box, then you're like looking at other boxes, because then you're like at your house and you're like, I could be cleaning this, I could be doing this, I could be working on this, but it's like, that's why I like go to the gym, because like I drive into town, I work out, and then I go home.
Yeah.
So it's like it separates me from like the rest of my day.
Yeah.
It's an environment thing too.
Yeah.
I think that's what you were just saying. I don't get the same motivation. I try to do stuff at home, and I'm like, no, I don't need to. I can just go to the gym.
Yeah. It's like not like having eyes on you, but like just being there. And
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
else is
Like if I run down the dirt road, I'm like, I could fucking walk and no one would know.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you, like, what your thought is on like a couple different supplements. So like creatine. Do you think it's good? People just use it wrong, or like, what's your thoughts on that?
I think it gets a bad rep because people think it's going to do more for them than it will.
That's just supplements in general.
Yeah.
General though, because isn't it like people like you'll have a protein brand be like 50 grams each scoop, and your body's like 20, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Like, right? So people think so. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think a lot of people think it's going to do more for them than it will. Or they're lagging in other areas like diet, or they're training themselves and they're relying on just like any PEDs or steroids. They're like relying on it.
So, you got diarrhea over there or something?
Sorry.
So is it true you got to drink like a fuckload of water
Yeah.
on creatine?
Well, yeah.
On anything, isn't it? Because you're just gonna fucking dehydrate.
Stay hydrated, no matter what.
Oh, I got put in the hospital because I was so dehydrated.
Yeah.
And it was because of the fucking, yeah, so.
And another thing, like bodybuilders drinking water, it's like your kidneys, they're constantly filtering. If you're hydrated, you're going to filter better, you know? it's not putting as much stress on the liver and kidneys.
And then you're not doing the kidney stones and shit.
Yeah.
So.
See, I'm just dumb when it comes to it. Like, I just know I need to drink water, and also if I don't have at least, I know you're supposed to drink a gallon a day. That's what they say, right?
Does it matter? Like for your like
Well, that's
kind of
where-
what you want to get out of it, I guess.
But what I finally realized was even if I just drink it all depends on, like, I have to have a certain amount, like, consistently throughout the day. So that's why I drink like a gallon and a half to like 2 gallons a day. I don't know why, and it like gives me heartburn if I don't drink a consistent amount. Like, I can't just,
Yeah.
cause I can kill a gallon, like, even if I drink it slow, like halfway through the day. But I need to like constantly just drink and chug water.
I'll feel like shit if I don't.
Yeah, I feel like absolute dog shit. If
I forget a lot, and then so what I start doing is I wake up and I chug a glass, and this is I've heard this is like the worst fucking way to drink water. Like so it's good. They say it's good to wake up and hydrate, but like the thing is I'll drink water like 3 times a day or 4 times a day. So I'll wake up, chug a glass of water, like 10, 11, chug a glass of water. Like I don't like sip on water throughout the day.
Yeah.
Then like your body's gonna be like, oh, I only needed half of that. Thanks. Then you pee out the rest.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, well,
from what
I keep
I've
forgetting.
learned is that to chug about 16 ounces of water, cold water, whenever you wake up, because it wakes up your whole
Yeah, it's like the cold
system
shower
and
theory.
everything. Yeah.
Do you take cold showers?
No.
Do you ice bath?
I haven't in a
It's
while.
not a consistent thing.
No.
Though. Have you heard about like what it does for you?
Yeah, like inflammation and all
Yeah.
that.
I realize that's where like most of my back pain and shit comes from is inflammation. So
Yeah.
cold showers in the morning, fucking peachy. And it's like it's better than coffee. It's just absolutely miserable though.
Yeah.
But I will say it does. So the reason I started it is because I got on this like I'm kind of still on it, but I'm on this kick where I'm just like studying millionaires. So because like I want to be rich as fuck. Who doesn't? So I'm gonna put in work. So started a podcast. But so I'm like studying millionaires, and this one guy said, he's all you need to learn how to control like your emotions. Like you can get that sensory overload, or you can feel those like nerves sending you signals, but you need to learn how to like not respond all the time. So if you can control that, like when you get into a fun cold shower, like that's gonna help you mentally so much, because then something's gonna happen that doesn't go your way, and it's not gonna cloud your judgment.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna zone in. You'll be like, okay, that's fine, brush it off, let's go. But then I started taking cold showers, and I felt like a little bitch, because I'd be like, and I was like, the first like 5 days, I was like, this is not fucking working. And then like 2.5, 3 weeks into it, I just flipped that fucking cold nozzle on, hop in, I'm like, nice. So it's like consistency I think is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest thing that's overlooked is like just sticking to it.
Yeah. Did you mean to pop your pec right there?
No. Yeah.
You're like, consistency.
Would you say that it's 90, or what would you say the ratio is for
Like the breakdown.
between diet and actually working out and rest too? I feel like that's also very overlooked or underlooked.
Like just trying to make progress in general, or
Yeah.
I would say the most important is diet,
Yeah.
for sure. Like even me, I didn't really take it serious until like I got this new coach, you know. Like last year I did an off season by myself. Kind of just I still ate my meals I was supposed to, but like if I wanted to, you know, just eat something, there I go. Or this will swap out for this meal I'm supposed to eat.
Yeah.
But like this new coach I got, he's the one that's like, eat your food, make sure you're eating all your food, don't skip your food. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say the food's more important, and then rest is the other thing that's definitely underrated for people. But
It sounds weird, but I forget to sleep sometimes. And like, cause I'll just like, so
But you stay up till like what, 1?
yeah, I stay up till like 1 or 2, and then I wake up at fucking 6.
yeah,
And then I'm like
Yeah.
on the weekends, I'm like, or like day 5 of doing this, I'm like, I am death. And then I'll sleep like 12 hours on the weekend, and I was like, why didn't I just spread that out? Because like I'm on this billionaire kick, and they're like, oh, you don't sleep when you're tired, you sleep when you're done. So I'm like doing shit on my laptop, like fucking falling asleep, and I'm just like, or I'm hanging out here.
Have you tried the like couple 15-minute naps throughout the day? And that's it. You don't actually sleep.
No.
You just nap throughout the day.
I don't have. That's a good idea.
Like 15 minutes here, 4 times a day. It's like equivalent to sleeping 8 hours.
I
don't do it. Like my brother, he's the one that told me. He's like, and he did it for like a week. Like he'll just take a couple naps throughout the day and not actually sleep at night, because he's trying to like do his website and his YouTube videos and all that.
Oh, I'm trying to build a website too.
Yeah.
What's his website?
Duckster Bob something.
What is he?
Bike website?
Like merch or blog.
It's like a blog.
Oh hell yeah.
He doesn't post about it or anything, like the videos he does. I don't know why.
Yeah,
But he's up to
marketing's like huge.
yeah, he's up to like 3,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Holy shit! How long has he been doing it?
Less than a year, maybe.
Damn.
That's what I've learned about consistency. Is
Yeah.
that I just hit like a month.
Yeah.
I've only got 30 subscribers, but I got 100 hours of watch time. So if I can consistently get 100 hours of watch time each month.
Yeah. That's what I want to start doing more, is making YouTube videos, but it's so time consuming.
I'll edit your shit.
Yeah.
I don't have a fucking job. I go to school. I'm serious.
It's funny you say that, because it's the nerd coming out in me. The first time I actually read about that was Batman. Like in one of the comics, that's how he's, or I don't know if it's like in just a comic or how he lives his life, but he doesn't actually like sleep, but he takes like micro naps. But he got to a point where he convinced his mind and body that he got the full 8 hours after doing those naps throughout the day or whatever.
They say sleep is psychological, like the actual act of sleep, but like it's a huge rest thing, for sure, if you're maxing out your body. But if you're not, and you're just like naturally maintaining 180 pounds.
If you're just trying to like build a business and you don't need sleep, okay, cool. If you're trying to bodybuild and like get the most out of it, you gotta sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do 15-minute naps.
Fucking tearing
your muscles will be like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Who's driving this thing? No, but what I was talking to, I can't remember what I was talking to this about, but I feel like a lot of people go viral on like one video that they kind of make just out of being like funny, and it just works out. That like they didn't edit it, and it was just a naturally like pure video, and it goes viral, and then they get like 1 million views or whatever, and then they get monetized, and they make like maybe like $1,000 or something, and then then that's it. Then they're done. They don't know what to do. They post 10 more videos and they only get 1,000 views, and they're like, what the hell? So it's like, so they just quit. You good?
Yeah.
And then, like, I feel like the way I'm doing it, or like the way your brother's doing it, is like the way to go. You just constantly just hammer out video after video after video.
Yeah.
And then you just slowly, and then Tanner Dixon is actually doing it too with Rocket League. And so he challenged himself the whole month of December to post a video a day.
Yeah.
And now he's monetized.
Yeah.
You know, he made like $150 last month, which isn't
Damn.
crazy, but
That's
more than I'm making.
I feel like with what you're saying though I feel like a lot of those people got famous and then burnt out or died off because the initial video was natural. What they were doing was like natural. They weren't expecting anything out of it. After that, then they're trying hard and they were expecting something after it.
Right.
So that's where it died down.
But what I'm trying to do is I look up to Joe Rogan a lot. And the reason being is not because, like, he's a funny guy or, like, I mean, he is, but, like, that's not why I look up to him. But, like, the reason is he built his name to the point where he just started, like, a couple different endeavors, and it just took off because they're like, have you seen what Joe Rogan's doing?
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, and I say it all the time that I want to build an empire, and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, I just
he doesn't have like a specific niche, you know?
No.
Like he's just, I post a video, everyone's
it's
gonna watch it.
I would say
media.
I would say it's
Entertainment.
facts.
Yeah.
It's factual.
Yeah.
That's why. And it's so weird because there's two aspects when it comes to whole like famous becoming like making a lot of money and becoming successful for yourself. I would say it's one, actually putting in the effort consistently, but then there's also I feel like where Joe Rogan did it is just naturally doing the flow. Like he didn't really try to become
He didn't
the
force it.
most famous podcast. He just did it, like, because that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah. But also, if you have your empire and you start a podcast and it's a shitty podcast, Joe Rogan could have very well started a shitty podcast and no one would watch it. But he's just himself.
Yeah.
Shit,
I
even though I don't think I even really knew about his podcast probably until like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and he's been around what 8+ years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh no, dude, he's been around like 15.
well, he's been doing
no, 11 years.
He posted that picture when it was just him and his buddy in that little room.
Like a UFC shirt.
Yeah, like how old that video was like 10
No,
plus years
it's
old.
11 years.
Yeah.
He's at like 1,500 episodes. And they're all like 3 hours long. And then I learned that he barely even edits that shit.
Yeah.
Like they edit in like the little like, oh, this is the page we're looking up.
Well, if you watch his videos, it's straight through. Like,
Yeah.
beginning to end.
My videos edit out because like we'll take like fucking piss breaks and shit.
Yeah, I constantly got pissed.
And I try to edit out Dylan's noises. But I learned that like, yeah, he doesn't even like edit. But he does meet with his like interviewee like,
Yeah.
before and shit. But
I just had something, I lost it though.
it happens.
Yep.
And it'll come back to you right when it's not your turn.
And then you'll forget it again.
Exactly. I tried to get into the habit of like typing shit down, like when I had ideas, but then I like listened to it back and it was like.
How many people are you training right now?
My training?
Yeah, that you're training right now?
I think I'm up to like 14.
What's that cost? Depends what you want, I
Yeah,
guess.
if you do like the whole monthly, it's like 180 a month.
People, I'll be the one to say, people will say that it's expensive, but people don't understand like the time and effort that Brandon actually puts into it, and that's time out of his day that he's like putting towards you and like
To train people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked Emily about it. Like you do like meal plans, fucking
he does
workout
all nine
plans.
Yeah.
Huh?
he does the whole 9 yards.
And I'm just like starting out, so I'm not going to charge a whole shit ton, you know?
Right.
Like,
Because you don't have like a gallery or a portfolio.
yeah. Well, like my coach, I pay him $220 a month.
No.
He doesn't train me in person. It's all email.
No shit.
Like, you know, and he has, like, I think he said he had 85 clients at $220 a month just emailing people, telling them what to do.
So you have a monthly revenue of 180 times 14?
Yeah.
But part of that package, isn't it the gym membership too though, or no?
Yeah, so people are...
Also like
including
150?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Still.
Yeah, that's still.
But everyone else, like, on top that doesn't train with me pays their gym membership, and that is more, you know?
Yeah.
But like trying like, I think that it's the hardest thing, and why I think it's very reasonable because like, meal prepping and trying to figure out what you need to eat, it really comes in handy when you know somebody who knows what you should be eating.
Yeah.
And people take that for granted.
Do you do a lot of like side research?
On, like, the...
Like just the nutrients and stuff on like.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
Specific to,
stuff
like,
that
what
I've
they
just,
want.
like, picked up over the years, you know? Like, and it's just...
Yeah.
Second.
Are you pretty analytical?
Yeah,
Like with everything or just that?
pretty much everything.
I like to think of myself pretty analytically. Have you ever taken that 16 personalities test?
Uh-uh.
The Myers-Briggs?
Like Joe Rogan with
I don't think
DMT.
so.
That's my favorite fucking thing, dude. So it's like, okay, you can't take it to the point where you're like, this is me. I do everything. Like, I'm going to act this way because this test told me to. But, like, dude, I highly encourage everybody to do it. 16 personalities on Google. And it takes, like, 20 minutes. And it kind of just tells you about, like, how you process information and, like, whether you're emotional or analytical or, like, and I tell everybody to do it.
Yeah.
But you should do it like every other year. And I haven't changed in the last 4 years, so I don't know. But I tell everybody that's like close to me to do it, but Dylan doesn't want to, I guess. I finally got Kyron to do it, so.
Oh, well, what the fuck? I've never said no. We've never really done it.
You want to do it right now?
No, we're not gonna do it right now. We do it as a podcast. I was gonna ask, do you see like a certain trait, either bad or good? Like, what do you notice about that's a common thing when everyone that comes on to train with you? If there was something.
If I could say anything, it's like not committing to it. Like, I know it's stupid because like if someone doesn't want to follow the plan, like I'm still getting paid for it. I shouldn't
Yeah.
care, but it's still like, you know, I'm trying to help you. I'm giving you this. All you have to do is fucking do it.
Well, I think I think it's hard for people. It comes back to the whole purpose training. Like, they probably think that, I'm just working out. It's like I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I feel like, have you had anybody that's actually gonna want to like compete? Well, I guess Amber, but
Well, yeah, and then Sam's doing a show.
is she doing a show?
Emily
For
is
real?
too, right?
Oh, shit.
Emily's doing a pageant, but it's
Oh,
like
shit.
the same thing. She has to. So yeah, there's a couple that are actually, and then I train a lot of like high school kids that are in sports, but
Yeah.
even
Really?
then, even then, it's not like this is what I have to do. They don't really care.
Anyone watching this, I would highly recommend like getting on the plane with Brandon, because I thought, like, I'm gonna be completely honest. Whenever you guys are like inviting me to go work out to those 2 workouts or whatever, I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, oh, it's just another like normal lift,
Yeah.
and I'm like used to the whole CrossFit thing, which I started thinking was harder than normal lifting. Kicked my ass. It was awesome, but I was like dying the whole time. He was pulling out shit that I like never would have expected. Like working out in a gym, I was like, this is fucking cool. So I would highly recommend, if anybody's looking to do a plan, definitely.
I would recommend getting a trainer for anyone. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
like
true.
myself having someone like telling me what to do,
Yeah.
or even like a training partner that's pushing me. You know.
Well, they say, like, every successful person has a mentor.
Yeah.
Like, very rarely do people just figure that shit out, you know? Like, and the way I think about that is the way I think about engineering. It's like, because my dad, he tried engineering and he failed. And I told him, I was like, if you did engineering now, you'd probably make it through. Because, like, now I have the internet and shit, and that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But the reason being is because it's the same kind of concept of like, if you give a toddler a phone, or like on the computer, and they just breeze through it and they're going through the photos and the settings and the apps and play games, is the toddler overly intelligent, or did the engineer design it to be that way?
Yeah.
So it's like you're taking what someone already knows and learning from their mistakes, and you're still going to want to learn from the same mistakes the same way, because if someone's like, hey, don't do that, and you're like, but I gotta.
And you save yourself a lot of time. Too.
Right. So if you can just
that's
learn
true.
from their mistakes, you save, like you said, bunch of time, bunch of like emotional shit, and you can move on. But what I have to explain to people a lot of time is like, because I had to like figure this out with my dad. Like, he would tell me to do something, and it's like, okay, but I wanted to try it a little different.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it was the same concept, but I failed in a way that made me understand it in a way you weren't explaining.
Yeah.
So it's like, you still got to let people try, but you just warn them, you know?
The other thing is, like, if you're ultimately trying to get to that goal the fastest way possible, if you're learning from someone else's what to do, what not to do, they're helping you, then you'll get there quicker, you know?
It definitely depends on your relationship.
Yeah.
Like, if you just had some random person emailing you,
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be different, for sure.
Do you think you still, because you know fucking like a lot, like you know it like pretty well in and out, but do you think you still have a lot to learn,
Oh, for
and then
sure.
that you're constantly still gonna like keep learning shit
Yeah.
and try and learn shit? Yeah.
Like, right now, I feel like when I think of myself, like, I know nothing.
That's
Like, to
gonna
other
be-
people,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, Brandon's kind of intelligent. I'm bodybuilding. I'm like, I don't really know shit.
I feel like we're similar in that way. Because,
Yeah.
like, I just assume I'm an absolute bumbling idiot. And then they're like, hey, like, can you explain this? And I'm like, yeah, no. And then they're just like, whoa. And I was like, whoa.
That's something I've learned with training people is, like, things that I don't think I need to explain. They have no clue. Like, oh, this has calories. I can't eat this.
I think I'd like to coin the term the toddler effect.
Yeah.
So, like, in your first, like, that's why early childhood development is like its own degree at schools. Like, you can get a master's in early childhood development. Because, like, there's kids learning like 4 to 5 different languages in kindergarten, and it's like your brain is a sponge.
Yeah.
So if you like solidify into that old man that can't walk, and he like at the welding shop, that he knows a bunch of shit and he is really good at his craft. But if you try to teach him about new shit, he is not going to want to do it. But a toddler, they think everything is fascinating. So if you keep the mentality of like, I know nothing, I want to know a lot,
Yeah.
you're just going to be like,
Always keep learning.
yeah, you're going to be bumbling around. You're just going to be like, this is fantastic. Everything is so exciting.
I think I actually kind of caught myself the other day. Like, I I'll admit, I've been a very egotistical person in the past, so I thought I killed my ego, but then I constantly find myself saying, oh no, I don't know that. And then I need to, like, reach out and, like, learn.
Yeah. And
then somebody messaged me the other day, like, hey man, like, is this a good max on this lift? And I was like, my first thought was like, I told him, I was like, I'm not the right person to ask, but I mean, I guess it would just depend on how long you've been lifting, and then this, and your body weight, and how old you are, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, how do I get it up, and like, what's a good way to like get big fast? And I told him the basic thing that everybody I've heard say is like, eat a fuck ton of, because he's young, he's in high school. I was like, eat a fuck ton of food, like good food. I was like, get a lot of rest, and like a bunch of other basic things that I definitely overlooked. Like if I could have told myself something back when I was his age, like this is what I would have told myself.
Yeah.
But then I told him, I was like I'm not the right person to ask, but if you want to like bulk up like really good, and it's gonna take some time too, like. But I would highly recommend Brandon's pro workout. Like go to Brandon, like work out.
I think I remember some kid messaged me. He's like,
really?
He's asking me, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like science so much. That's because like when someone's like, if someone would be like, hey, is this a good lift? And I was like, well, what's your age, weight, and like. Look at your parents, like you could just like break it down and be like, this is where you're at, like in the percentile range. It's like, but I have no idea. But like this is what everybody else in that range is doing. So it's like you give them just the facts, and then it's kind of like when someone like you send like a risky text and you say like LOL IDK though. It's like
I don't know, do what you want.
I mean,
after,
like, this is what I would feel.
Yeah, you're just like,
paragraph, but IDK. Like, it's the.
There's a lot like
safeguard
per person, you know, everything's different.
Everything is
oh
different.
yeah.
So it's not like you can just recommend one thing and say, oh, this is like meal plans for everyone. It's not like I just make one and I'm like, here you go.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I tell
It's specific.
Believe it or not, I had people ask me about physical advice or physique advice, and they're like, well, what do you do? And I was like, first off, we are not the same body type. It's like I can eat a shitload of food and go lift, and I will build muscle mass a lot faster than you. But you are like really scrawny, and you're gonna have to like eat more food and shit. And it's like your body burns calories insanely fast. I'm gonna build as much muscle as fat, but you're gonna burn everything. So it's like you need to take the body type test, and then you need to do your own research. Yeah. I was like, because I can't take the quizzes for you. I can't research shit for you. Like I don't know how well you sleep. I don't know this. It's like, so I say like, here's the basics. Like here's the body types. I just think it's hilarious that men are like, there are 3 body types, and then women are like, there are 17 body types.
Jesus.
I think isn't it up there for women?
I don't even know.
No. I just tell people to look up the body type thing, because that's like that's where I started, like with the baseline.
Yeah.
How did you figure out how to like train? Like, is it a difference, or is it harder or easier like to train women compared to men?
I mean, not really. Like it's all the same. Like how much effort you're putting in, you know.
Yeah.
But there are things like that I'll have girls do that I won't have guys do, just because it's gonna help them develop in different places, you know.
And also, it's just their goals. Yeah.
Fuck.
That was a great way to
Oh
put
my
it.
god. I just hit thrusters with him fucking for the first time ever.
Dude, those are hard.
Those were hard. I was dying.
I swallowed my pride one day and I did those, and I saw some girl doing like 3 plates, and I was like,
Yeah, man.
I was like, what? That ain't that hard. I started out with 45. I was all, okay, we're going to 25s.
But my attitude changed about whenever, I think you said it, or Amber said it, one of you said it, was like, it's going to help you in your squats or whatever. And I was like, fuck it, I'm doing these.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird lifts that'll do that kind of shit. It's like all your collateral muscles and shit, right? Yeah.
Freaking girls doing hip thrusts with like 3 plates, they're probably hurting themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say
more
that.
than- if they put
Well,
like
excessive.
half the weight on and like went all the way up and held it, like they'd feel it a lot more.
Because there's like a lot of spinal pressure and shit going on there at that point.
They
It's
probably
just
don't
like
even feel it.
dumb.
Just shake my head.
Once I learned that, like, so not to like try to max out every week, my numbers my rep numbers went up like crazy.
Yeah.
And I was pissed at myself. I was like, why did it take me this long to do? Because like my squat was just horrible. My squat's always been horrible. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start with the bar, and then just work my way up. And I felt like a gooby
Yeah.
because I went from squatting like like 250, 260, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start over because I don't know what the fuck I did wrong. So then I started over, and I went up to like, I want to say 365.
Yeah. Well, then once you relearn the form, you're
Yeah.
gonna be stronger in it too. You know.
I did a squat study actually at NMSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the eccentric squats where you like go down real slow and then you like hit the bottom and the weight has hooks on it, and it like has a certain like load that pops off, so you hit it, it rocks backwards, and then you like shoot up.
Oh shit.
I went from, I want to say like 315 to like 365, 330 to 365, somewhere in there. But I was like, holy crap. And that's the whole, like, have you ever, like, I would assume you've heard of time under tension.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, once I learned that like reps does not really matter, but as long as you can contract that muscle for like an extended length of time, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even have to work out half as long. I was mad. I was like, I've been spending 2.5 hours in this damn place when I could do an hour.
One weird thing that I noticed whenever, I think after this last cycle of actually getting back into the gym, is before I would always struggle with a weird back spasm, and then like lower back, which I'm pretty sure is my hip, and then like knee pain, like pretty consistently. But it wasn't, it mainly came whenever I wasn't working out like for a long time. But then whenever I started going heavier and just focusing on form, that those pains and spasms went away.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can explain why, but I noticed a huge difference because I used to be one of those people like, oh, I don't want to do heavy squats because of my knee, or want to do deadlifts because of my back, my lower back, and blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just from focusing on my form more, but like normal people would think that going heavier would damage yourself more. So why would it help me more?
You're saying you went heavier and the spasms stopped?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the main things I can think of is like,
Hold on. Okay, go for it.
like maybe, well, no, that doesn't make sense either because it's not like a stabilization issue. Because if you're going heavier, you're not gonna be able to stabilize that. You know.
My theory would be that I will say, like when I squat, like when I warm up squats, I have a hard fucking time, like balancing and like because it's like a weird thing with your tendons, right? Where you like have to load it to a certain point to where you like can squat naturally because. And then it also depends on like, because I had a really hard time with squats when I was doing them up here because I couldn't fucking balance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned if you like drop it down, it engages your back and engages your core, and that helps too. So it's like, I don't know, man. Tendons are fucking weird. But I honestly, okay, when you're saying you lifted heavy, percentage wise, how much did you increase? Like, give me numbers.
Like I never used to be able to do 2 plates on a squat. Never. That's why you see me in the gym all the time, like doing 2 plates, because I'm pretty much happy about it. But like, it's just weird because at work I noticed dudes who are always like complaining about back pain, complaining about knee pain, and this and that, but they don't work. Is it like a working out thing? Because like these are dudes who like don't work out, haven't worked out in years, but then there's me, like, and I'm doing stuff that is supposedly like could injure my body, and I'm constantly like tearing my body down. Like, you would think it'd be vice versa.
But you're building
Just-
after you tear.
Yeah, but
They're
still.
deteriorating. They're just deteriorating.
But it's not older dude. Like, I mean, well, one dude is like 50, but still.
But see,
Like,
you're using your. That's probably you answer this, but you're using like your body to support your bone structure. They're using their bone structure to lift shit. Their bone structure and tendons. There's supposed to be a balance between your muscles and your tendons. They're supposed to fight each other and like keep shit in balance where you can control it.
Yeah.
But they're literally, because like there's a shit ton of ways to do things wrong. Like, and then you see those guys that are like fucking fishing pole deadlifting.
Yeah.
That's bone structure. They're just relying on their bone structure.
And I guess to be fair, like, this last 5-6 months, I've actually paid attention more to my form and warming up and stretching too.
Yeah.
So I guess that would help. But it was just really weird to me because I don't think I noticed until 2 months ago. I was like, wow, I don't feel it in my lower back. I don't get this weird like this spasm. Would I would have to be hunched over, and I like couldn't lean up all the way. I don't know.
It could have been something that just ended up like healing, and then
Because you took a break and you came back.
I didn't take a break because of that. I just took a break because I was a drunk idiot.
No, I know, but like, that's rest time. Considering, I mean, you probably started your deterioration phase, but like that's
But I mean,
rest time.
I used to think it wasn't like I probably got this weird spasm probably 2 or 3 times a year maybe since 2000 17, 16.
But there's things that I will get that is just like totally random. I didn't do anything. It's just like one day it's there, like I'm old or something. But like,
oh yeah, lately my knee has been giving out. I'm being completely honest. That one,
Yeah.
I don't know what that one is. The side of my knee like spazzed out and I like flinched. I'm like, what the fuck? That's kind of worrying me.
yeah, like when I took the 8 weeks of like not training as hard or anything, my body surprisingly felt worse. Like just little things. Like I started getting pain in here. My knees started hurting.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is about like pushing to some point keeps everything more healthy, you know?
Yeah, it's weird.
Bodies are weird, and I like to study like anatomy and shit as like a hobby, just so like I know what the fuck's going on. But then I feel stupid because I'm like, I know all this shit. And I'm like, yeah, got my muffin top going on. But it's like your body responds to its environment, and it's always going to be adapting. So, and I mean, like Leah or someone could probably explain this a lot, but like if you're like you get like tinnitus or something in your body, like it's used to like working at this elevated stage, and then you drop it down, and so it's like it's sending, I don't want to say like nutrients and shit, but it's like it's expecting that level and it's not getting it, so it's like gonna overwork itself. So it's like it's preparing, and then you don't do it,
Yeah.
and then there's just like a buildup of like lactic acid or like there's
No
a build-
opposites. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's I like to think of it mechanically. So it's like if you're prepping for something and you get all your shit ready, and you put it all in the truck, and then someone's like, then they cancel your plans. You got to take all that shit out and you got to put it somewhere, and it's a pain in the ass. So it's like that's what your body's doing. They're like, all right, let's go, and then you're like, nah.
Nah.
And that's why I like anatomy and shit like that too, is because like you normally can break it down to like mechanical shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think it's fun. But then there's a lot of shit left out that I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about deep stuff, you know.
I can make your muscles grow.
It's above my pay grade.
I feel like for the average person, I feel like this is a common question. What would you say? I don't know if it's a good question or not. I feel like because a lot of people will give up after a short period of time not seeing results. What would you say would be like, realistically and honestly, after how long would you say you would actually see results? Like, the average person, how long should they be patient for that wants to go in the gym?
That's like very relative, you know.
Yeah.
Case by case.
So if some person's training their ass off to someone that's like, oh, I'm going to take steroids but not actually do anything, like the person that's actually training is going to see more results than someone that's just,
No.
you know. So, but I would say like, if you're doing everything in your power, there's no reason you shouldn't see changes in 4 weeks.
Right.
I think they say it takes 11 days for someone else to see changes in you, and it takes like 30 days for you to see changes in you.
Because you're looking at yourself every day.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, have you ever, well, you probably not, Brandon, because you've been in the gym for fucking ever, but like worked out for a long time, thought you didn't see results, and then stopped and then looked at those pictures. You're like, oh fuck, I actually like looked good. I've done that many fucking times.
I was like, because I was working out every day, and I was putting in the work all the time, and that was mostly, you know, self-hate, but that's what got me in there. And I was like, man, I still have this gut, and then I could not break 212 pounds. Man, stop lifting 230, and I was like, oh, it can get bigger.
The weirdest thing is mine, like when I'm getting ready for a show, when I'm close, I still think I look like shit. But like I look at pictures of me when I was 2 weeks out now, and I'm like, why the fuck didn't I post that picture? I look so good. I'm like, now I look like shit, you know? Yeah, that's tough. Like as a bodybuilder, you definitely have body dysmorphia.
Yeah. But you also have to have that intent, like,
Yeah.
You
Right.
do. You
In a
kind of have
sense.
to hate what you're looking at.
or
But
not
then that's
exactly
hard.
hate, but like it never satisfied.
Right.
Yeah. Like when I look at myself, I don't think I'm big at all, you know?
You fucking lying.
No, but like seriously, I look at myself and be like, yeah, like I look average size, you know, and then And I'll go to the grocery store and I'm getting like fucking dirty looks and shit.
I do that with height.
Height,
Like, I don't
yeah.
think I'm a big dude. And then I'll like get in a fucking car and I'm like, who designed this thing? They're like, they didn't design it for your Goliath ass. And I was like, I'm not that tall. But I hang out with like fucking Perrin and Kyron and Dylan. Like I hang out with tall people. Like my best friend from New Mexico is 6'5".
Okay, calm down with Kyron.
Kyron's
Kyron's
6
fucking
foot.
short. No, it's barely.
For us, he's
He's
short.
short.
For the
For a
national
Marcus
average,
Stitt-
which
for a
is
Marcus Stitt,
5'6".
he is short.
Yeah, for Marcus Stitt, he got screwed in the genetic pool.
It's
But
okay.
like,
You could have just said until like Brandon came over to the podcast and I realized I was tall.
I was going with the national average statistic, and as soon as I was like, the national average is 5'6" or 5'8", and I was like,
It's so
where
weird.
Brandon's at.
It's so weird how body dysmorphia is like. When I would think body dysmorphia, I would think somebody who's like anorexic or bulimic. But it's weird that it can like go
Everything's
from
a spectrum.
bodybuilder since yeah.
Yeah, everything's
It's
a
weird.
spectrum. Because like, and I think the way that like the government has defined obesity is weird.
Yeah.
Like, you're
At this point,
technically
nobody-
obese. Like the
Yeah.
military too.
My BMI is like 33, so I'm like morbidly obese.
Yeah, exactly.
How does
Well,
that-
it's for your height.
I was
It's
gonna
a-
say,
it's
how does
a-
that number work?
It's like a statistical average. So it's like they take his height, but the thing though is they don't take in muscle content and
Yeah.
like your
Well,
diet
yeah.
and
So what's
lifestyle.
the 33 out of what? Or what's the?
It's just like a percentage. I don't know what it actually is of height and weight ratio.
Mhm.
You know.
So I've like done I've never had it like measured, but I've done those scan things,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm at like 22-ish. But if I put my height and weight into a BMI or like a body fat percentage calculator,
Mhm.
I'm at like 32.
Oh, how do you have to go in somewhere to do that?
They like
Like an
test it, they
accurate
like
one?
pinch it and like do shit. There's a bunch of different ways, but like technically they're not accurate. None of them are.
A DEXA scan is accurate.
Yeah.
That's the one where you
How
actually.
much are
like,
those?
I think you can get them done for like $100.
Damn.
At Crunch, they had like a Fit 3D thing,
Like where you
and you
hold
stand
it.
on it and you hold it and it rotates.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not as accurate as like
No.
where it actually scans you.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh shit.
Because that's just like sending pulses through
Yeah.
your body.
Where
But
do you go for one of those? Like if I wanted to go.
You can go to Choose. They have like the ones
Oh,
you
really?
hold.
No, for an accurate one. I'm
There's
gonna
one.
do it.
There's one in Tucson. It's like it's called Bod Pod or something, where you literally like sit in one and it will scan you.
Oh shit.
so it's like an MRI for like
Pretty
your,
much,
your
yeah.
muscles and shit.
I think
That's
it's only
dope.
like $60.
I'll go with you.
I'm down.
I'd do it too, just to like see what it actually says, because I've never actually done the scan.
Road trip.
Oh shit. So I want to know what my actual like body fat percentage is.
That's another like reality check, you know. Think you look good, and then you get one of those done, and you're like 30.
Well, I have no hopes, or like to me it doesn't matter. Like I feel good. Like
Yeah.
I'm a lean dude, so I don't know if I'm an idiot, but like to me, I feel like I have nothing to lose by finding out.
My username on a lot of stuff is Big Chungus, so I got to live up to the name, man. So I'm
It sounds
good.
like giving yourself an excuse to stay comfortable.
But my goal, so I learned real quick that like my favorite thing is to like be underestimated. No one thinks that I'm as fast as I am, and I'm not anything crazy
You
fast.
say Bolt over here?
I'm not, like, I obviously didn't make it into college football or anything. I also didn't try. But anyway, like, I can run like a 5-second 40. And if you see me walk down the hallway, you're going to be like, that dude can't even run. Like, I waddle, and I don't know why. But, like I like surprising people. Like, that's, like, my favorite thing. So, like, and I don't know if I've just accepted this or I came up with this mentality. But, like, I don't exercise to have this, like, mentality. But it's just, like, that's just how I've learned to enjoy it. But it's, like if I go in the gym, like, and I'm working out, like, I look, like, normal. And I deadlifted, like, 485. And this, like, 3 dudes walked up to me. They're like, did you lift that? And I was like, yeah. And he's all, no shit. And it made me feel really good about myself. Yeah, corn-fed is a huge part of that. But I do think it definitely is, like, a fucking cop-out. Because I'm just like, yeah, I like being fat and strong. But also my thing is I love eating. I love eating whatever the fuck I want.
I'm sure Brandon could hook you up with a plan to where you still eat.
I love eating when I'm dieting. Then,
Is it
then
like-
I get into an off season and I fucking hate food. Like right now I'm like, oh,
Are you to the point where you like eating because you want to figure out what different foods do to your body differently?
No.
No, you just like fucking eating. Because I just...
No, like if I'm dieting and I'm hungry, like everything sounds good.
Yeah.
Until like a month after the show, after I've like binged on everything, and then I like start the off season and I'm like forcing meals down. Like right now, I wouldn't even want to go eat pizza. Like I'm like, ugh. Eating anything is just terrible right now.
How delicate is that process? Because I know you can't just jump right back and eat whatever after you've cut for so long.
Uh-huh.
So like what is it? What do you typically have to do for how long? Like how many meals and what kind?
Well, you can just jump right back in and put on a shit ton of weight, you know.
Yeah.
But
But that harms your body, doesn't it?
I mean, kinda. Like your body will be like my first show, I was like 195, and then the weekend of I got up to like 215.
Fuck.
Like so in 2 days I put all that weight back on because I just ate everything.
I would say your body's probably going to shit weird for about a week.
Yeah. And it's just like swollen. Like my ankles were all like swollen from my water weight.
You're going to bloat and shit.
Yeah, it's terrible. So I don't think that's healthy itself, but like
Yeah.
you also from a lean state are more reactive to building muscle, you know? So that's why everyone, like, they diet down, and then that's the best time to put muscle back on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just eating like an asshole right after the show, you're not really putting muscle on. Whereas if you took, like, a strategic approach and, like, actually tried to put on, you know, it's just your body responds better.
I feel like my mentality on exercise has just always been, I exercise my ass off so I can eat like shit.
Like asshole.
Do you get any, like, psychological benefit?
I could eat like an asshole.
No, like if you went into the gym and like trained hard, you feel better after.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah, no, I get out of there and I feel like, but also, I don't really eat that much like an asshole. Like I just eat a lot, and my thing is like, I'm a broke bitch, so like for a while, Little Caesar's pizza was fucking every other day, almost every day.
God.
I would eat an entire Little Caesar's pizza. There's like a fuckload of protein in one of those. Because of all the cheese and stuff. But like, that's when I was bulking, you know, because I wanted to be a power lifter. I ate probably 4,000 calories a day, and I could not break 212 pounds. I hated it. I just wanted to be at 240. And then, because it's still a goal of mine, and that's actually... My next goal is I want to deadlift 500 pounds. Like that's just, you can do 500 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I figured. My problem is I got these fucking stilts for legs. Like me and you probably have the same fucking torso size, but I just got long fucking legs. And it pisses me off.
No, but I was meaning like the psychological of actually lifting the weight, you know? Like Dylan, do you get that? Like if you,
like satisfaction, like
if you're just like fucking pissed off and you go into the gym.
Oh yeah, it's a
better
big
after,
fucking
you know?
outlet.
Yeah.
It's always different. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like in the workout, and sometimes I just need to zone out because the fucking workout sucks. So
Yeah.
it's always different.
That's my issue with working out with other people, especially if they like don't know what they're doing. And they like asking me all these questions. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to release some self-hate right now.
Yeah.
And you're asking me how to bench. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
It's definitely therapeutic, but it's so hard. 'Cause I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I fucking don't want people to fucking talk to me at the gym. But at the same time, like, I love the gym because it's a good community. It's like good people. But then I'm like, don't talk to me while we're there. Like, I like you, and I'm glad you're in the gym. Just fuck off for a second. Like, this is my peacetime.
So my biggest, I'll be working out like mid-set. Someone will come up to me in my gym and be like, "Hey, can I like renew my membership? Can I update my card?" I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? I've been like doing my set." So like if people come by and they want to sign up, I'll tell them to just sign up online. Like if I'm working out, just because it's gotten to the point where I'm not actually able to like get all my workout in because people are just like.
Yeah. And then if you like, I don't like I try to make sure like I don't have to go to the bathroom or like I'm not like I got my water and shit because like if I'm like sitting there doing it and I'm like mid fucking like shoulder press set I'm like halfway through, and then someone starts talking to me. Like I want to talk to him. I'll see like Pete there or David there, and I'm just like, yeah, man, like I'm doing great. How are you? And it's just like, I look at the fucking weights and I'm all, well, it's time for the next fucking exercise. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I have a membership at LA Fitness, so I can literally go up there to get away from like not having an interrupted workout, you know?
I was wondering.
If I tell someone that's like, because it's my business, they're like, hey, can I do this? And I'm like, dude, fuck off, I'm working out. I can't do that, you know?
Exactly. That may be a little bit bad for business.
Some people just don't understand the whole gym etiquette thing.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I've never thought about like how you've had to deal with it, like being the owner and everything.
And it's like every single time, like someone will come by to work out. They'll just be standing at the door and I'm like, fuck.
I felt bad when I asked you when you were doing your treadmill thing, but I feel like that's probably
that's fine.
That's the best way. That's the best time.
He probably wants to get question.
If I'm like about to deadlift like 500 pounds and I'm like all psyched
dude.
up.
Excuse me, can I see?
No, what's even worse though is like, so I worked out at Crunch for a while, and they got like the fucking stands where you can like do the Olympic lifting and shit. It's just a Crunch Fitness.
Oh.
And I was up there and I was about to set a new PR, 465. And I was all fucking ready. Got there, fucking did it, and then they like fucking, are you using that bar behind you? I'm like, are you fucking serious, man? Like I already clapped the fucking chalk off my hands. I'm ready to fucking go. Got my fucking belt on. Are you using that? I'm about to fucking use you, motherfucker. Like, get out of my face. Like, it's like, just grab it. I don't care. Don't make eye contact with me.
There were some old people that would come in for a while. They still come in now, but they would always ask me to like, hey, can you turn the music down? Like,
what the fuck?
Like, every time I'm working out, like, you know, I'm working out, I turn the music up, I'm
yeah,
jamming, you know? They'd be like, Brandon, can you turn the music down? I'm like, I guess so. So now they come in and they got like the earmuffs, like shooting muffs on.
Oh, not even for music?
No, they just have muffs on, so they don't have to listen to music.
it's not even music. It's just
sound, straight muffs.
Dude, that's actually because
good for them though.
Yeah.
Instead of like bitching about it all the time, they found a solution.
Yeah, I would have died laughing if you bought them headphones.
Well, some lady asked me too, like literally yesterday, to install one of the. You know, like the half dome reflective mirrors, and put it in the corner, so when she's working out, she doesn't have to look around to see who's behind her. I'm like, okay, I get it, but still, like,
yeah.
That's just.
You're like, yeah, you buy it. And
yeah, that's what she said. She's like, I'll buy it. I'm like, yeah, if you buy it. Sure,
oh no shit,
put it up there.
Did you do?
She's gonna buy it. It was yesterday, so she hasn't brought it in yet. But
dude,
it's just like
that's
a weird thing
to
ask, you know.
But I enjoy, like, I really like that was her perspective.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to inconvenience you, but this is what I want. Because a lot of people love bringing up problems.
Yeah.
And they just expect you to, like, to bow down to their entitlement.
Yeah.
And that...
if you don't, then you're an asshole. And
exactly.
Fuck you.
And they're like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I pay to be here. It's like, okay, but, like, you didn't have to sign up here.
Yeah.
You could have went to a gym that had a fucking reflective mirror, but she was like, this is what I want. I'll fucking buy it. I just don't want to put it in.
Yeah.
Dude, it was funny you brought that up, because there's some days where, like, I want to hurry up and get through my workout, or, like, some days it's, like, a really good workout, so it's just flowing really good. But Jordan Curry came and worked out with me for, like, 2 days, though. And finally, I had to stop after 2 days. And he's like, hey, we're going to work out again, or not? And I was like, no. Because Jordan likes to talk, and I've never liked working out with people because it takes so fucking long. I mean, like, because I'm terrible. Like, I bullshit, and I get off track working out with somebody else. Dude, I cannot work out with Jordan Curry. Like, that dude likes to talk. We bullshitted. Like, we were there for, like, way longer than we needed to be. I was like, this is so I finally had to tell him. And I already had this rule, like, I don't work out with people I don't ever work out with. Like, CrossFit is different because, like, everybody's, like, on the same page with it. But, like, do, like, normal lifts, I don't work out with people. Because, especially Jordan Curry now. And that's why, because people just, like, get me sidetracked, and then they want to talk. And
I have a friend, he comes down and works out from Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
He talks a lot, but, like, it's like, we stop talking and then do a hard set and then pick it up, you know? So it's like, it works because it's just
he
balanced.
understands, yeah.
But
No, Jordan did. He fucking tried to show me shit on his phone, and I was like, man, I'm fucking,
Yeah.
I'm trying to focus here.
There's times when I see people like on their phones and it's like, you want to be pissed off, but then it's like, they're just here. They're not trying to do what you're doing. They're just.
I've gotten like that, like pissed at people for being on their phone, but then I noticed like I'm bad. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I've been bad about it too, but.
Well, like it's different if they're taking up a machine. If they're just like,
oh yeah,
if they're just coming to the gym because it's what they like to do. They're not trying to be like a professional bodybuilder. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, whatever. Like, do your thing. Just don't be taking up room.
Well, that was the reason I'm not as hard on people, is because I realize sometimes I get bad about it, but it's because of music. Like sometimes you just like gotta have the right tunes while you're working out.
I'm a big 5-finger death punch guy.
Yeah, I'm fucking over 5-finger.
You were super into it in high school.
Well, yeah. Fucking.
That's the only reason I listened to that shit.
My music taste has really changed in the last like couple of years. Like now I listen to more shit like you listen to like especially when I'm working out. Like
what do you listen to?
Just like heavy metal, scream,
like metal stuff.
I've actually tried different music styles. Like I've lifted to like classical music and like pop and then rock and like I didn't like write anything down, so it wasn't science. It was just me fucking around. But cardio while doing or while listening to classical music goes by a lot faster for me.
Really?
It's weird. Because I also listen to classical music when I study, so because it doesn't have words.
Yeah.
But I can still like tap along to it or fucking just pay attention to it. But I'm not like singing it.
I think you definitely need to. I think people definitely need to go through stages where they like need to not listen to music while working out.
It's a different experience.
Fuck no.
You don't think
Dude,
so?
I can't. Like, if I'm lifting, like, I don't know. I'm like very weird about music, but like I like listening to music.
Well, yeah.
Like
so
if I'm in the
you're
car,
mentally stable.
Yeah. If I'm in the car, I'm playing my music. Like I don't care who else is in there. They're not playing their music. So like working out, like I definitely have a better workout if I'm playing music I like.
Right, but fuck, because you're like a P, so like you have to. My mind says like, for like a psychological standpoint, like I don't want my muscles and everything, or like muscle brain memory, whatever it's called, to like only lift heavy just when music's on. Like I want it to be able to do it like naturally too.
Yeah.
Which I know you're still like your numbers aren't going to change, but there is a dramatic difference between with music without music. So I want it to be the same both ways.
No, I definitely see where you're coming from, and I've done that just to like make sure that, and that's why I try to lift calm. And I try not to listen to super crazy like death metal music because my heart rate will accelerate, and then I'm like, okay, but if I can lift it calm, then I know I can lift it heavy.
Exactly.
So I'm not like hyping up, but I still have my routine where like I like exhale sharply, and I don't like to do it, but like grunting, like not during the lift, just before.
Oh, heavy lifts?
Yeah.
Isn't there like a like? Isn't it proven that it definitely increases?
Yeah.
There's a study proven on music too.
Yeah.
It's like 15% performance listening to music rather than not.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah, because I mean, have you ever like not listen to music and then put the music on and then like your adrenaline and everything like definitely like.
It's a bunch of different chemicals in your fucking brain.
That's what I don't miss about like LA Fitness. Like if my headphones died, it's like Ariana Grande in the background.
Dude, it's weird.
Dude, I will say I commemorate your music at the gym because I did that. I forgot headphones and I was like, yo, these be bopping.
Yeah.
See, but that's another thing. Like, never fucking please anyone with the music. Like, someone will say, "Oh, I love this stuff." Someone will be like, "Oh, this is shitty." So like the playlist is like all kinds of
very
stuff.
diverse.
There's like 80s metal rap.
I hate it when that shit comes on. Like that one day, I don't know what shit. I think it was about a year now. Whenever I posted that.
Oh
like,
yeah.
What the was that you or was
No,
that the other
that was
guy?
Paul.
Yeah, I knew it, dude. I was like, and then I felt bad because I felt like an asshole. Like I was trying to be funny, but I didn't mean to like actually like come off as a dick, and it sounded like I was being a dick, and I was like, fuck. Like, it's not terrible music, but
No, like even when I'm like, if there's anyone else in the gym, I'll wear my headphones. If it's just me, I'll turn it up and play whatever I want. But yeah, everyone just complains about that stuff too.
You're never gonna please everybody with anything.
Yeah.
Especially this day and age. Normally the people who are like displeased are just like whatever. And then nowadays it's like you need to change the music because I want it to be changed.
Dude, everything with the gym. Like replace an old piece of equipment with a brand new one. Someone will be like, I like that one better. Why'd you get rid of that one? Where is it? Like, well, that one was falling apart. It was a piece of shit.
It was about to fucking kill somebody, and you're welcome.